Hello, my name's Tom, and I've just been messing about with making my first Kontakt instrument. So I thought I'd do a quick video just to show anyone who's interested how to get started with making your own instrument in Kontakt. So I should say, to start with, you do need to have the full version of Kontakt to do this. There is a free version of the Kontakt player, and you can just download that for free. And then I have got a video here which just shows some of the best free Kontakt player instruments in there. So if you're not familiar with Kontakt, I would start with that. And then if you do want to go onto the full version, which you could do a lot more stuff with and you can make your own instruments, then I would keep an eye on the sales and keep an eye on the prices, as it is very price sensitive. Right, so this is what I've done. It's the first attempt, so don't expect too much. So it's a tongue drum. I'll just play you a quick example. And then added in this section, so you can add in different voices, detunes, spread, and do. And on the other side, I've also got a chorus effect. So I'll just put the depth and the speed up on that, just to hear what that's doing. Turn up the speed a bit more so you can hear it a bit more strongly. There you go. So that's really all there is to it so far. So I should say as well that I didn't make all the actual note samples myself. I've taken these are free ones from Crypto Cipher. I'll leave links to all this in the description. But you could just use any one on these. So you can see on these that they've got the note names, and then they've got different velocities. So you've got velocity 1, 2, and 3. And if I go, what you have to do is set it up, is you click on the little wrench symbol here, and then I will go to the mapping editor. Why isn't that showing? Here you go. And on the mapping editor, you can see that these are the different samples. So when you want to set one up, you can just go in and you can drag it across from anywhere. So you can just drag it across like that. And then this one will cover all these notes in this range and all these velocities. So if you wanted to do a really simple one, you could just do one sample of one thing and you could spread it across the whole keyboard, and it could be at a whole different velocity level. So it'd be a very basic one. But when you buy expensive orchestral libraries, they'll not only do ones for each string and do lots of different ones for different velocities, they'll also do multiple samples of the same note at exactly the same velocity, and you can then set up round robins. So what that means is that each time you press a note at a certain velocity, it will randomly select from the range of samples. So it makes it sound a lot more realistic. But if you're doing something like an orchestra and you've got a huge range of samples like that, some of the libraries can become absolutely enormous. But a simple keyboard one or a simple starting thing could be tiny. It could be hardly anything. It could literally be one sample spread across a whole lot. So this is something in between. So I'll just delete that one. So you've got the lowest ones here, the middle ones here, and the other ones. And there isn't a note for every single note. So I've just spread it across about 3 notes. So you can see a little red mark on them that's for different velocities. So I'll just show you. That's in the middle. It's like there. I'll try and do one about here. And then really quiet down here. Yeah, there you go. So you can see it applying the different velocities. So the next thing the next thing I wanted to do is add a background. So when you first create an instrument, all you're going to do is just have the top bit. That's always going to be. If you want to have some pictures and you want to have some layout and you want to show some buttons and have some other controls, then what you need to do, clicking back on the wrench again, is you need to go to script editor. Now, so you go to instrument options here, and then under instrument wallpaper, you can then select, it has to be a PNG, not a JPEG or anything. So you have to convert whatever image you've got. And they all have to be, if it's 633 pixels wide is the standard width here. So it can be any length, but it need to be 633 pixels wide and a PNG. And also you need to allow on the height to include this bit. So I just looked on Google, found a tongue drum image I liked, did a bit of text on the top. And then you have to set the background. So you have to set the right size, and you need to do a little bit of scripting of this, but the scripting is very simple. It's using its own scripting language, but it's based on Lua, which you can also use for GSonic or JSFX plugins in Reaper. So it's quite a similar kind of thing, similar style. So if I look at the script editor, oh, I was already on it. And you just go down here. And when you first start off, just initialize it, make perfumes means you see it. And then initially, these ones were all set to be UI height, and it's using a grid reference, but I changed these to fit the size I want to pixels. So I changed it from set UI height to set UI height pixels 360 to make it the right size for the picture. So if there's any of the instructions or any things you need to know, what you need to do is you need to go to KSP reference manual here, and here it will say, give you instructions on all the syntax, how you access different controls, and how you basically get it to do things you want. So I'll put a link to that in the description as well. So the next thing I did is I wanted to put in some extra script and do some other stuff. So I added in this bit. So this bit, I didn't write the script myself. This is coming from ones which are included with Kontakt. So there's a whole load of different ones you can choose and just put them in, but they'll just plonk them the layout anywhere. So you'll then have to go and change the layout to make it look nice. So I'll just go, yeah, so you've got presets here, and then you've got factory ones, and then you've got a whole load of different ones. So this one is actually Unison X, but you've got all these different ones which are just scripts which you can just use yourself, and you can adapt or manipulate. So if I wanted to add another one, this will add it all onto the same tab. If I wanted to do another one and add a new preset, I'll just choose any one randomly. So you see this on quite a lot of the Kontakt instruments, but they in a different tab. All they've done is just taken the script which is included. So this will add this delay sequencer. So now if I look at it, you should see when you go down to the, oh, it hasn't done it yet because I haven't applied it. Yeah, it's the other thing you need to do, but I don't want to do it because I'll mess it up. So when you add a new thing, you need to remember to click on apply, and then this will add it in, and then you have another tab and it will just show it like this over the back of the background. So it will look like a mess because the picture's going over it. So if you wanted to lay it out nicely, you'd need to change it yourself, but you could just leave it as the default like that. But with me, what I did is I changed it to fit around the image and look in. So if I show you the script editor again, I'll show you exactly what I changed. Yeah, so you can see that here it was originally laying them out in a generic grid, So you just did a grid space, and then I changed it again. The only difference is underscore px on it, and then that means I could lay it out by pixels. So I could move these to the side of the picture so that they looked nice. Now the next bit I did is I added in this and the chorus. Now this is different from this. The whole script from this is already done and I just brought it in. With this, what I'm doing is I'm accessing the built-in effects of a chorus, which is included. So you've got a whole load of different effects you can choose built into Kontakt. So yeah, I'll go down here and you can see this is taking it from the insert effect. So what I did is I inserted chorus. So if you have a look through here, you've got a whole load of filters, dynamics, you've even got amps, different delays, different reverbs. So what I did, and the reason I mainly chose chorus is because it had 3 buttons, so it matched with the other script, is so I select chorus, so you've got it there. And then once you've selected it to be included, what you can then do is you go into the scripting bit and you have to declare it. So I pretty much copied the same style as was already done in the script which came with it, and I didn't do it in a new empty tab because I wanted it to all appear on the same page. But you can have multiple tabs with different things on each one. So then I declared a variable for the knob, if basic starting point. I then laid out in pixels where I wanted it to go. And the other thing you have to remember to do is you have to make persistent, or else it doesn't hold onto the values once you've done it. And then on this bit, I just copied the other style that it's done to just add some help things if somebody puts the mouse over it. And then you have to hook up the label so that when you move the control, the actual label changes values. So this is all the scripting is. This is a very much a beginner starting point for doing a bit of KSP. And basically all I've done is I've taken insert effect and I've hooked it up so you can then change it from the front screen with your own buttons. So this is just a starting point, as I said. So I suppose the next stage you could go to this, because these are just using the generic styled buttons. You could then start to use your own buttons, make nicer looking buttons. So you can use, probably the most popular program is Knobman, and you can design your own ones in there, and it's a free program. I'll put a link in the description to that as well. But what you can also do, which I found, is there's a site called Knob Gallery, and then there's a whole load of different knobs you can just download, and then you can just hook those up in a similar way that I've done it so far and make it a bit fancier. And obviously the next stage as well would be to create my own samples. So if I was creating my own samples to start with, what I'd need to do is I'd need to record all the notes that I wanted at the different volumes, and then you need to clear it out, get rid of any noise, make sure that the notes are consistent and haven't got any notes between them. And then you can use some scripts in Reaper to just chop them up into parts, into individual files for the samples as WAV files. And then if you label them in the right way, I couldn't quite do it with this, but if you label them in a consistent way so that they're broken up by the volume, by the velocity and the note's name, then you can actually also map it so that they will automatically map to the right files. Let's look on this again. I was trying to find the map again. Yep. So if you set up all the names properly, you can also use some tools within Kontakt itself to just automatically map the notes. But if anyone's interested, let me know in the comments. And I have got some ideas for some more complicated instruments I've got. So I'll try and do one right from the beginning where I do all the samples get them as good as I can, lay them out, and then maybe have multiple tabs and then do maybe a bit more complicated scripting. So yeah, thanks for watching, and let me know if this is something you're interested in and if it's worth me doing any more videos on it. Cheers.